So, round one sucked. It was bad. Um, but whatever. All right, guys, we're back for Supercoach 2025. Round one's finished. Lockouts released. It's Monday morning. Yeah, round one sucked. Absolute terrible. Disaster class. Maybe the worst starting team I've ever had. Ever. Like, sure, it's close to 2,000, but some people getting like 2,200. I had the worst possible starting team for someone who pretends to know what they're doing. Um, this is a shit show. This is terrible. Like, one pick worked. This is terrible. There's not even enough trades to fix this either. It's done before it begun. Let me just undo that. Yeah. So, where do we even begin? I mean, Sheezel was all right. Played a lot of around the ground play. So like he'd start half forward, he'd start forward pocket, but then like work his way back into the game, coming like through the midfield or coming close for a touch. Never really saw him go behind the ball, which I thought would still happen a little bit. I thought, like North isn't exactly a stacked defense. They can have Sheezel, run either side, especially while they were down a bit. I thought, move him back there, clean up the game a little bit, but sure. 635k for someone that's a half forward is, that's fun. But Sheezel is still good enough. Like, I haven't got the stats pulled up, but he would have had in the realm of 30 touches. Good efficiency, like he's great by foot, everything like that. But 635k, which we'll get to one that's even worse. But 635k for a half forward is not great. But everyone has him, so this is like means nothing, right? I think he's basically the most owned player in Supercoach. I should have done this before because now it's going to show different. But yeah, 68. Caleb Daniel, everyone's got because he's just above rookie price. Kako, everyone's got because he's rookie price. And then it's Sheezel. So he's the most owned premium player. So his score doesn't matter. Jordan Clark, I thought, was excellent. I went to go see this game. Absolutely died in that heat. That was hot down in Geelong. Thankfully, the sun did kind of go behind a cloud for like 2.5 quarters or something like that. But yeah, Jordan Clark was great. A lot of chipping around the back line. So it's still that Freo terrorist ball, but instead of Luke Ryan doing it, I think Ryan only ended up on like a 60, if I remember the scores correctly. Yeah, 66. He was playing a lot further back than usual, and he was kind of getting burnt a little bit. Like, there were a lot of times I saw him open, and pardon me, throat's a little gone from footy. All right, quick water break done. Clark was good. A lot of chipping around the back line. His intercept game, it's there, but could be better. So Luke Ryan was getting a lot of those like super high 150, 160, 170 because Luke Ryan's a really good interceptor as well. Clark, not there yet. So I think the ceiling for him might be 115 rather than like 120. Which is fine for defense. Like, what are we looking for in defense? Just sort by defense. It's going to show this his average, isn't it? Can I go 2024 stats? No. Well, anyway, I think it's around 115 is what you need. Around about. Short. Kind of got tagged second half, was on track for a really good game. I saw people were saying, like, I was at the game, so I couldn't see anything, but very good game, by the way. Cottrell or something went to him, or one of their like Carlton forwards, the small forwards, went to him. I don't know how much of that you believe versus just the game was so open, right? Like it was a lot of open play instead of stop and start, which is why Carlton lost, by the way. Carlton can't play an open game. Players aren't good enough. And saying that against like basically an under 21s team is worrying for Carlton because now they play Hawthorn, who's another very open team. But yeah, so short, I think this fixes itself. Now they play Port this week. Port's notoriously inaccurate. So there should be a lot of behinds, a lot of kick-ins. Short should be fine. Even, like, say it's not amazing. What's his ownership? 25%. Oh, that was a lot higher before. Yikes. Is anyone trading short? No, it doesn't look it. But yeah, so we'll see on this one. If it's another bad score this coming week, probably trade him out. Go to... Oh, who do you go to at 440k? Not exactly a great price point. Let's go 450 defense. Perryman was terrible. Ooh, Salem? Oh, De Koning. Yeah, De Koning would be who you go to. De Koning looked really good. Ruck, defender, very Gorn-like. Like, in the way he was playing, not necessarily in how good he was, but in the style he was playing. Yeah, I think Fraser, I didn't really watch any of this game because the AFL is still fantastic. In 2025, they put 2 games on at the same time. And, of course, I'm going to watch Collywood, right? Yeah. Roberts was a lot better. Didn't get the 110 or whatever, but he looked better than the score says. So this one I'm not as worried about. Short, a little bit more, just because it's like, oh, what if he can't get those kicks around the back line? And Richmond end up being just a little bit too good to just get pounded every week. Yeah, we'll see. But Roberts, no problem here. I mean, Sydney, there's a lot going on in Sydney, so I think Roberts is fine. Blakey was terrific though, so I think every week there's going to be a Sydney backline player who just goes off. And then we're on to this rookie defense situation. My God. Somehow this was correct. Like, there was no one better. Right? Like, if they were better, it was like 10 points better. There's not much. There's nobody here. You got a 200k, which, like, puts you at just rookies. What is this? Like, Bice was a sub, so you're not picking him. Pryor I did have, and he sucked. He's probably got to, like, either get dropped or get given one more game where if he's terrible, he's getting dropped. Trainer is whatever. He should continue to get games. O'Sullivan didn't impress me, and it's a Chris Scott team, so he could get dropped. Carl Warner, didn't even know he was playing. Plus, they got pumped by like 70-something in the end. Reed looked so out of his depths, right? Like, this looks like a VFL player trying to defend an AFL player. Way off, right? Ben Patton's probably getting dropped because he got subbed, and he was terrible. Like, 43 was good for him. He was terrible. O'Connell should have been subbed. I don't know if he gets another game. If he does, I don't know if I want to pick him. Cleary got hurt. Leak sucks. Plus he has a bye. And then no one here plays. Alright, so I don't know what you're supposed to do here, because none of these guys are good. So you're just fielding 50s until you don't have to field 50s anymore. Even then, like, Patton's, if he gets dropped, I bring in O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan's going to get one more game at most. Like, Leak, Nah, I'm not bringing in Leak. Warner maybe. Warner should play a bit more. I don't know how much Frio's going to put in getting beat by 70. Bice maybe gets more game time now, but yeah, I mean, that's bad. Like, this is the worst rookie situation in the history of Supercoach. Um, I don't know what the hell you do here. Pryor could have been a little bit better if he was better at using the ball. Kind of looked a little almost like shell shocked or something when he got the ball. The pressure would come like it was Hawthorn. Hawthorn's a very high pressure team, so like maybe that's not great for like first game of the season and stuff like that. But we'll see how they go this week. They got Adelaide. Adelaide killed St Kilda, and how far Essendon from St Kilda, especially that back line. I think that you could almost say St Kilda have a better back line. Yeah, I mean that. Ooh, at the MCG as well, that could be terrible. That would actually not be a bad game to go to, but we'll see. Um, yep, potentially another bad week. Like Sydney play Freo, which we'll see if Patton plays. And then, oh my god, he didn't touch the ball for a whole half, and I paid 645k for him. So when I made the final team video, I said I wasn't a fan of having Brayshaw and Sarong. So I went to Neil, and he had no touches in the second half. What are you meant to do? Like, I've never been in this situation, by the way, where I've had a starting premium that is like the second most expensive player in the game, fourth most expensive player in the game, and he stinks. Now he's got, I mean, West Coast should be a free game for him, and then he has his tags coming against Geelong. Like they're a tagging team that's not a tagging team, but a very defensive team. Richmond, I guess McIntosh is a tagger now, but I mean he didn't do anything to Cripps. Cripps just kind of self-sabotaged. Brisbane Dogs, that should be easy. I mean, the reason why I got him is the Brisbane schedule looks so good. I knew that this would not be an easy game. I completely forgot James Jordan exists, by the way, when I picked him. Completely forgot Jordan exists. But, I mean, West Coast, Geelong's not great. Richmond is good. Dogs is good because Bond's not back yet. And without Bond, that team looks... Man, they're lucky to get ahead of North. That midfield does not look good. Sanders, by the way, if you've got him, you probably have to trade him. He does not look good. Maybe give him another week, but I would be... He's on the trading block for me. Collingwood shouldn't be too bad. St Kilda should be easy at Marvel. Gold Coast... Neil typically gets up for these games. I mean, he's averaging 110 against them. North, good. Melbourne, good. Melbourne's not great. I mean, Melbourne have... Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of a tag. Bedford, but Bedford's GWS. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, probably gonna have to ride it out. Like this is one he's gonna drop to like 550k. Good thing it's round one. Like silver lining is it's round one. It's only in the system for 1 week, but man. Really, this could have been anyone else. Now I'm starting at 80k instead of like 40k. Man, like really? And then Sarong wasn't great either. Sarong does the one thing I hate that he does, and it's rest forward. I get why he does it. I don't think he should do it. He's too small. It doesn't work. If you're going to play someone forward, it should be Brayshaw, but Brayshaw can't kick straight. So it has to be Sarong, because Sarong's got a bit of forward craft to him, but Sarong is too small. He can't mark a ball, so you have to then get it to him, and if you take Sarong out of the midfield, now you're left with a lot of players who can't kick forward and can't get the ball to him, because he has to get off the ground, not through the air. I mean, I don't like Sarong playing forward, but he does it a lot. And what was happening this week was he'd get stuck forward and wouldn't be able to get to the bench. That then when he got to the bench, he was there for an extended time, couldn't get back to the midfield. Wasn't great. Like, I think towards the end of the game, sure, they're down 50, 60, 70 at this point, but 10 minutes left, 7 minutes left, Brayshaw, Sarong stuck on the bench. It's like, well, this is the time where you want your best player on the field, right? Like, Brayshaw, Sarong are definitely the best players on this team, and it's not close. Luke Jackson scored good, but buddy, you get ready to learn Melbourne again, right? You're done, right? Like, he's kaput. He sucks. Getting beat by DeConing and stuff like that. Yeah, he's terrible. Maybe the worst trade and contract in WA history, behind Andrew Gaff extension. But yeah, so Sarong, not good. I mean, for 623, I would rather had like basically anyone here. So, I mean, Dunkley, look, everyone's going to say, oh man, I almost had Dunkley. I maybe gave him a second of thought and then went, nah, Neil's better. I'm going to pay up an extra 40k, get Neil, right? That no one was actually thinking about Dunkley. 1.8%, it was lower before the game. It's gone up, say, about 0.5%. No one was actually thinking about Dunkley. And if they did, it was a dead team, right? Oh, man, like, none of these guys really went well. Heaney didn't do amazing, plus potential hammy injury. Hopefully it was just cramps. Dacos kept out of the game for like 3/4. Yeah, I mean, liver, but liver's just injury waiting to happen. Petrarca wasn't amazing, I didn't think, but he did have Bedford for a while. Yeah. Will Day. Okay, I'm so close to trading Will Day. That's how bad I thought he looked. This guy has no motor. Absolutely no motor, right? Like, please look interested one time. I get this whole modern day thing of aura, don't try too hard because people will think this, that. Please try a little harder. Oh my, like, it's... Man, why did I pick him? I said, only pick surefire things. And then I picked Will Day, who is probably a year behind, right? Like a year back from him being like one of the top midfielders. I'm not going to put a number on it because I don't think he's top 5 yet. And I'm not sure if he's top 10. He's definitely not anywhere near that yet. They beat Essendon pretty handedly. Not thanks to Will Day. It was thanks to all the forwards. Will Day, please try. Right? Please try. That's all. I reckon he broke it into a sprint once that game. I wish there was a stat for it because I reckon he would be the worst of the premium midfielders for sprints. He does not run. If the ball's not placed directly on him or he gets some free that doesn't exist, like that Mark one, that wasn't a free. That was stupid. It wasn't front on contact. It wasn't anything. He dropped the ball. It wasn't a mark, but he gets a free for it, right? If that doesn't happen, he doesn't care. Like, he won't touch the ball. He won't work to get open. The amount of times it's like, just make a run to the ball. There's no one near you. Just make a run to the ball. And he's just standing there, hands on hips. Like, what are you doing? You're one of the few teams that's already passed the first game, so you shouldn't be unfit, right? You've played your first game, and you had a very good first game. What are you doing? And he just does nothing outside of that. If you think of soccer, right? Like, you've got your defensive midfielder, your CDM. They'll track back. That's what he was doing. Like, what are you doing, right? Like, you're a midfielder. You're meant to go forward, not back. He'd be at the stoppage, so you've got like Ruckman, 2 guys, and then 1 guy, like, yeah, depending on what side. He'd be the guy that's behind Hawks ruckman, right? He'd be behind Meek. And then instead of trying to go into the stoppage to get the ball, he'd track back. And then Hawks would win the stoppage, get the clearance, and he's just still tracking back. Like, what are you doing? This isn't, FIFA 4213 rubbish where, like, put both DMs on, like, holding so they're, but you're basically playing like a back six. What is this, right? Like, he better show something, or otherwise I'm trading him. I'm dead ass. I can't stand the way he played. Zero effort from Will Day. Oliver, I think Oliver's past it. Could he still average 90 and be a fine trade piece? Maybe. He did not look good to me. See, this is... So Oliver wasn't sprinting as much, but Oliver is also way older than Day is. And Oliver was still trying, right? Like, stoppage would come, he'd sprint in there and try to do something. He's not who he was, right? Like, this isn't 5 years ago, Clayton Oliver. He's pretty washed now. Like, let's be honest. He's, get him his coke back, right? Yeah. I don't know how long this is going to be in the team for, because he looks washed. Against North, he'll probably score all right. Gold Coast, maybe not, because, like, Rao is bigger, so they'll put, like, a Rao on him or something like that. I don't know how long this is going to be in the team. We'll see. I think he's just past it, right? Like, it's time. Chera I thought was actually all right for 3 quarters, and then there was that terrible third quarter, let's say end of third and the fourth, right? Where Carlton were embarrassing. Like, they were embarrassing, right? Like, you shouldn't lose to 18th place. You shouldn't. You see what happened to 17th place West Coast. They got almost beat by 100 at home. That should have been happening to Richmond. You were up 40. And, like, the second half of the third quarter and then all of the fourth, Carlton were terrible. Everyone was bad. So Cheryl was kind of lucky to get to 100 in the end. I'm pretty sure his stats were pretty good. I don't know. Can I see stats? They keep changing it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. This year you can't. Yeah. I think he's a fine pick, 440k or 450k basically. He's better than Oliver, and he played leagues better than Will Day. Like, Chera was trying so hard that I thought he was going to pull a hammy. But yeah, Carlton sucked, man. They were bad. And then more rookies, which I don't know what you're supposed to do. So nobody picked Lawler because, he's not going to play. And if he does play, he's a half forward. He's not going to be great. He's playing for 18th place and he's forward. It turns out he's like the best rookie here. Even if he didn't score the best, he was definitely the most entertaining to watch. O'Sullivan sucks. He's bad. We'll see how long he stays in the team for. I'm guessing a while, because I don't know what the North wingman situation is, but Sardis is getting dropped soon. I don't know what soon is, but he's getting dropped soon because he is a VFL merchant. Won't be playing for Essendon long term. Won't be. Maybe you get one price rise. Maybe you get 2, and then he's out. Simple as that. He once Parrish comes in, he's out. Durham plays like full midfield, he's out. Sardis won't be playing very long. Looks way behind it. Nevitt, I thought was pretty good. Gives Geelong another one of those defensive midfielders that's very skilled with the ball, can kick forward, set up the play forward, can drift back a little bit to, like Sarong, for instance, plays a lot of half forward. You can still keep him on Sarong because he's got like a bigger body than normal, has a bit of defensive craft to him. Looks good. How long is he going to play for Chris Scott? Hopefully a while. Chris Scott's very weird with rookies. I don't know what the Geelong midfield is like either. If there's someone that's waiting to come back. It it does look open because they're playing Bailey Smith forward and having him like track into the stoppage. Uh, so I should bring it up. It's something that I'm curious to see. Uh, Bailey Smith's CBA numbers are probably going to be very low, but he's actually at every single stoppage. Like every single stoppage. He's just playing half forward, but he's actually a midfielder. Um, that's an interesting one. I think it's going to be like the new go-to for a lot of midfielders. But yeah, never looked good. Very good even. We'll see how long he stays. Driscoll, O'Driscoll. I'll be honest, I didn't even see him. It was 70 points, so like all I was seeing was Freo defense getting killed, right? But yeah, 91. You take that. The wing spot's locked down for him. He'll be playing every week. Don't know if he's going to be scoring 91 every week, but he'll be playing every week. Simple as that, right? Like this is an easy pick. Probably going to field him this. Like, definitely going to field him this week. He's better than Sardis is. He's better than O'Sullivan is. It's probably like one of the benefits of keeping someone developing him for a while before playing him. Yeah, something for other teams to learn. Max Hall had 2 goals, gave up. He could have had a third, then gave it up. So this could have been a mid-80s score, like say 85. We'll take it. St Kilda in a weird spot. Like I said, I don't know how far away they are from just being Essendon. Or how far Essendon is away from being St Kilda is probably the better way to put it. Everyone knows St Kilda is going to be towards the bottom of the ladder, right? Maybe not bottom 4, but maybe bottom 6, right? Like they're going to be towards the bottom. We'll see. He looked good, but I don't know if that's a fluke game. And plus, the only reason that game wasn't a 100-point beating or 70 points or something like that, what the other games were, is because Adelaide were cramping at the end. It looked like it was a pretty hot day there. We'll see how he goes this week. He's got Geelong at Marvel though, so it's not. If it was in Geelong, I'd be a little bit more worried, but at Marvel's not too bad. He's one of the few good rookies, so you have to keep him. And then Camberelli, I thought was good. Made a couple of mistakes. That's what happens when it's your first AFL game. Probably a bit too early to bring him in, right? Like, from real life perspective. Probably should have gave him a couple of weeks in the VFL or something like that to learn speed at the game type of stuff. But yeah, I thought he looked good, right? Like, you bring in the first game, that's really all you can expect for him to look okay. Ruckline is whatever. Hindsight's, perfect vision, right? Should have Vice or Captain de Koning, but that was never really in the plans. I thought Nank would hold him to less. Nank's typically a pretty good defensive ruckman in terms of like keeping fantasy scores and stuff down. Sherry, little underperformed. Like, he underperformed a fair bit. 122 is that weird point where it's like, well, wasn't a bad pick, but it wasn't a good pick. Like, if you go his last couple of games against the Dogs, it's not going to show it. I think he has like 2 140s against the Dogs, something like that. So, is a little under, but isn't the worst. De Koning was excellent. Definitely Carlton. Definitely Carlton's future is De Koning at ruck. So much so, I almost say Pitney's done after this season. He'll come back, then he'll split ruck, and then I think Pitney's done the off-season. Yeah, De Koning looks good. He looks like just another midfielder. He reminds me a lot of Brodie Grundy for Collingwood. He has a bit of that tall midfielder about him. That, like tall midfielder that just happens to be a ruckman, but you can give him the ball, he knows what to do. And then Boyd, he'll keep playing because I don't think they want to play Marshall as ruckman, especially Marshall's kind of hurt. It's a mixture of hurt and tired from, I guess, having to carry the team for the last couple of years. But he looks so bad, Boyd. Like, 63 is pretty bad for a ruckman, considering, like, Riley O'Brien is not that good either. What did Reedy get? I don't know if Reedy was much better. Let's go with that. Lachlan Keefe, don't do it. Darcy Fort, no way. Archer Reed, no way. Reedy ended on 34. Ooh, that's bad. Yeah, I mean, keep Boyd. It's worth having him over a loop, by the way. Horn Francis. I mean, Port got smashed. There's not really much to read into. I don't think Port's going to look this bad every week, but it shows how much Dan Houston meant in terms of build-up and stuff like that. Now they're playing Finlayson off halfback, who, yikes, he did not look good. Do not read into that score, because that is the most fantasy score ever. He was not good. Finlayson was pretty bad. Horn Francis, not great, but I think it will even itself out. I still think he's going to be like anywhere between the best forward or the third best, somewhere around there. But then you go over to the next one. Rankin is amazing to watch. Should have been a midfielder from the day he started. He looks very good. He's always around the ball, always doing something. Complete opposite of everybody in here. Can hit the goal, like hit the scoreboard, score a goal. Has a 30-touch game in him. Brilliant, right? Like, if he wasn't cramping so much at the end, which he wasn't doing the whole like bend down and pickle juice, everything like that, right? But you could tell he was cramping. He just gave up running. The whole Adelaide team gave up running. It basically became like a netball game or something like that. You grab the ball and you stay still. Rankin looks very good. It's the only pick here that paid off, by the way. That's the one pick. Jack McRae, everyone owns him. I'm not counting him as a pick. This was the only pick that paid off, which is insane. Typically, I'll have at least like 2 to 3. The one that played off was a 500k forward. Like, that's so bad. McRae was good. He was actually brilliant. Saints, whatever, but McRae's brilliant. You should have one more year in him, maybe 2. Then it's probably sunset for him. Caleb Daniel, like I said, couldn't really watch any of this game, because why does the AFL put 2 games on at the exact same time? Where is it? The Saturday night. These 2 games were on exactly the same time. Quarters end at the same time. Halftime starts at the same time. You couldn't flip between it. And I want to watch Collingwood because I want to see like what is Perryman doing, what is Dacos doing, what is there's a lot of relevant players on that team. You could say there's more relevant players in this game, but do I really want to spend my Saturday night watching North Melbourne? Not really. Instead, I spend my Sunday night watching West Coast. But from all accounts, he was fine, right? This is really what I was expecting from him. If you were expecting 100 plus average, somehow you're a higher rank than me, but that's, whatever. But he'll average somewhere between 70 and 80 for the year. Pal Pepper was terrible. He's getting traded. Don't even have to go into it. He's getting traded. This was terrible. Whoever fed me this lie is a bad person, and I'm a bad person for believing it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. No, is it? Yeah, something like that. Whatever it is. He's out. He's done. Davidson. I mean, can you do a little bit more, right? Like maybe kick one more goal. Forward rookies aren't great either. Tom Lynch ended up being the best score here of like the rookie price players. And of course, I didn't field him. I thought he looked pretty bad. I thought 61. Okay, well, Davidson should. If Tom Lynch can get a 61, surely Davidson can get like a 65 against North. That would be fine. And then Pal Pepper can get swapped out for Hewitt. No issue here at all. This didn't work at all. Lynch, I think, is suspended a week as well, so we'll see how that goes. And then Connor Stone just couldn't get around it, which the game was bad because of the conditions. So, probably give him another week. I think GWS aren't going to read into it too much that, like, oh, he's getting dropped post-buy or anything like that. I think he's fine. Pal Pepper, you are done. And I will be going to... Let's do that. It'll show me. I don't think I want any of them. I think Corey Warner has proved that he's going to keep his spot, but his score was carried a little bit. I think he had 2 goals. Reece McInnes wouldn't touch. Ethan Reed on his bye, so obviously wouldn't touch. Hamling showed some good moments. I don't know how much he's going to do. We'll see with him. It could be a pick. Constantly, I don't know. I didn't hear the commentators pronounce the name once. Should play more. I think he's been in the system a couple of years at this point. So I think he was with Hawthorn. I want to say it was Hawthorn, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, he's been there a year or 2 now, so should get some time. Kako looked good, but remember he is a small forward. He's a very good pressure small forward, but we'll see. Give him another week. Look, you're probably going to boost this week, boost next week if you're in a position like I am, where you have to correct all these rookies. So give him another week and then bring him in. It's probably the best way to go about it. Same thing with like a Warner. Warner I'm fine with missing out on, honestly. I don't think the role looked amazing. But let's see, I'm going to do that so I can bring in... One of these 2 has to come in this week. Ned Long, I wouldn't buy into too much. You see, 113. That's great. Dacos was getting tagged, and his previous game was a 30. So I'm fine with Ned Long. I think I'm going to go Ashcroft, and give me a minute. I'm going to see if Lynch actually did get suspended. All right, so he did. 1 week ban. I think I just do this, do that, and then I can bring in Lawler. Where's Lawler? Can I not? I can't afford him. Are you serious? Damn, I didn't realize it was this bad. Maybe I'd give Ashcroft another week. It's going to mess all this up. Alright, give me a minute. I have to make this work. What's going to happen is I'm going to keep resetting the trade. Give me a minute. Alright, yeah, I'm thinking something more like this. So, Lynch, Pal Pepper. Pal Pepper I'm never touching again, right? Like, that's never happening again. I thought with the flex that would be a good player for it. It's not. That's terrible. Never touching it again. For Lindsay, who I thought was very good, and I think the conditions made him better, which makes me think that he's going to be better long term. It gives me an extra week on watching Ashcroft to see if he's all that right now. Let me see if I can get this going. So what is it? It's around there. Rookies I need is Ashcroft. Could do like Sardis to Ashcroft. I wouldn't hate that, honestly. I don't think Sardis is keeping that spot very long. But the problem with Ashcroft is he was going to be the sub. Now you say, well, he performed so good, there's no way they're going to make him sub again. I don't know, because that midfield looks very packed. He was doing good, but if they want to keep him as like an X-Factor type sub that comes in the third, give him a quarter and a half type of thing, but we'll see. Once team sheets come out, I could use the boost to go Sardis to Ashcroft. That's possible. Constantly has to prove it 1 more game. Hamling 1 more game. Ned Long, I don't think I'm going to touch. I mean, if he scores 100 again, what would that be? What's his projected score? Give me a projected. Projected is 53. Okay, so 53 puts him up 37k. Say he scores 100, probably goes up 50k. 250. you're kind of getting to the range where I don't want to trade you in anymore. Maybe that's just one I miss. It is what it is. You're not going to get all of them. Ruck, I'm not touching Keith. That's about it. I mean, Jack Henderson looked okay, but Angus Hasty looked okay. Okay, so Hasty getting subbed was so stupid, by the way. Definitely should have been O'Connell, not Hasty. Hasty was doing all right. So for those that are new, like these couple of weeks, you really just move around your rookies, right? You're not really going, oh, I'm trading Neil this week. Give him another week, right? You don't lose anything. But next week is very possible I do Neil and Day out. It's very possible. Daniel Curtin, just let him go to West Coast, man. Bold fraud, Matthew Nix. Start Sid Draper. He's very good, very clean with the ball. Crowd loves him. Just start him. No more of this sub business. So I have a theory on this. Nix came out and said he's not playing Draper. He got... Oh, was it not Sloan? Sloan doesn't play there anymore. Maybe it was Laird or Dawson. Had them come out and say, no, we're going to bring him around slowly. He's not going to play this week. He's more next week. I think Nix got so much bad press from that it got to Adelaide front office and they said, no way, you're playing him. And out of like, oh, okay, I'll show you one. Played him as the sub and wasn't intending to bring him on till very late. But Tex, I mean, you're up 70, just bring Tex out, right? Like, let him rest his hammies and stuff like that before they go. Yeah, I don't think Nix wanted to play Draper, so now you have to, right? He looked very good in the time he had. If he's sub again, I want Matthew Nix fired. Matthew Nix should already be fired. Like, with that team, he should be performing a lot better. But yeah, anyway, that's what we're going to do for trades. Now, captain, vice-captain. Man, Dacos would be perfect this week. Dacos against the Dogs at the G. That would be a perfect Dacos game. If you've got Dacos, vice-captain him. Oh, I don't like DeConey against Meek. Adelaide, Rankin, maybe? I mean, Essendon got killed by, like, Ginnivan and all those. What did Ginnivan end up scoring? If I go here, I go here. Amon off halfback. Connor McDonald killed them a bit. Nick Watson was who I was thinking of, not Ginnivan. Ginnivan only had 62. That's interesting. I thought he did a lot better than that. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. For now, I'm not too far. I think Rankin captain at the MCG works for me. And then captain... Nah. Man, am I going to do this? Yikes, that's not looking good. But I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. Freo against Sydney might not be bad. It might be a Jordan Clark angle. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to go with. Let me know how you guys went. I'd imagine... Oh, statistically, most of you have to have done better than me. Yeah, so who was it that killed your weekend? Let me know. Anyway, see you all next week.